And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. Before you bring out the sunscreen and beach shorts for spring break, you should know that the U.S. State Department has issued one of its highest do not travel warnings for 30 of Mexico's 32 states. Officials are warning that some resorts which were considered as being safe areas in the past are now being controlled by Mexican drug cartels. Joining us now to talk about the warning and what you should do if you're out of the country is security expert Greg Dupree.
Greg, just when we think we can take that affordable vacation and save a few dollars to Mexico, we get that warning from the U.S. State Department. And it is focused also on young people as well as they get closer to time off and headed to those beaches. What are some of the concerns that many in the State Department, why are they warning Americans now? What are some of the issues in Mexico that we should be concerned about?
I think the number one concern, Isaiah, is the fact that drug cartels control so much of the activities within Mexico, the country of Mexico, particularly the tourist locations. It's been reported that several of the hotels that tourists frequent are controlled by drug cartels. So that's definitely a concern. It's definitely a safety concern because they not only control the hotel, they also control the staff and all activities that are going around. You know, my nephew just came back from Tulum and Cancun, and he talked about all the open air drug activity that was going on right in front of him. He said people were constantly coming up to him, offering him cocaine. So that's a serious problem there. The second concern is the high number of kidnappings that take place in Mexico. You know, they've had over 10,000 kidnappings over the years, and a lot of those have involved American tourists as well as Americans who are over there working and conducting business. So that's a high concern.
And it's our understanding that some of these resorts and fancy hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs are being used to launder drug money as well. And so if you're at one of these establishments and people are handing you drugs where anything goes there, you could also get into a lot of trouble with the fentanyl that has been responsible for killing a lot of Americans as well.
Exactly. I mean, you're taking a risk on using any type of drugs purchased over there because, number one, there's no quality control. So you don't know what you're purchasing in the first place, And as you said, when you start looking at drugs like fentanyl, you're really playing Russian roulette with your life, because that is a drug that is so toxic, as you well know, that the small amount can kill you. So to even think about or consider using something like that, is a very, very, I just say stupid decision to make.
Now, the U.S. State Department is warning parents and young people, and I would assume adults as well, if you're going to go there. That warning is for everyone, right?
Right. And the best thing you can do if you're planning to go there, obviously, every place there is not unsafe, but you should always have a plan to mitigate the risks that can happen when you go into that country. You should sit down with your family, your friends, and the people you're going on spring break with, and sit down and have a plan. Say, look, we're never going to split up. We're never going to go away from the tourist area, and we're going to make sure no one gets so intoxicated, especially females, that they can be taken advantage of or taken away from us.
Mm-hmm. And I would assume also, Greg, you don't want to be too flashy there, showing your wealth as well, because people will see that as an open invitation to take advantage of you, to kidnap you, and get money for you from your family. And you may not have none. You may just be a flashy ass person.
Exactly. And when you talk about flash, that even goes down to your cell phones, because cell phones are likely targets, especially the more expensive ones. And with everybody's penchant to record everything they do, you have to think about that. I mean, the common thieves over there can come up and snatch your cell phone out of your hand. But I want to add this as well, Isaiah, because I think about all the way you go back in history, a UT student that went to Santa Fe High School from Houston, Mark Kilroy, who was killed there. He went off the beaten path with his friends and ended up being killed in a cult. And it's something that I believe everyone that goes down to Mexico should read. They should dig up that story and read it and see what actually happened to him, because not that much has changed since then. And you also have to be aware that we talk about the threats that take place in Mexico. There are threats internally too. They still haven't resolved the Shinquella Robinson incident that took place in Mexico, and where her friends were probably, or some of her friends were probably the suspects that ended up killing her.
Mm-hmm. So you have got to take every precaution that is available to you out there. Greg, for those who are wondering, they're saying, well, I have experience. I've been there before. I know this area. It's constantly changing, right?
Constantly changing. Exactly. You know, don't think, well, and I always notice this whenever I travel out of the country. Americans have a tendency to be extremely arrogant when they go to foreign countries. Like, they know everything. I've been here before. I know how things are. Like you said, Isaiah, things change constantly. The culture changes constantly. So you always have to maintain situational awareness. And that starts before even the plane touches the ground.
All right, Greg Dupree, TLACnow.com, security expert. We appreciate you on the Factor Uncensored tonight.
Thanks for having me, Isaiah.